Tigard Police have arrested one of Fox 12's most wanted after his own parents turned him in. 18-year-old Marcellus Ford is accused of attacking an 82-year-old woman and putting her in the hospital. He was arraigned in court today on an assault charge. According to police, Ford followed the woman as she walked on Fano Creek Trail in Tigard behind the public library on Sunday, then attacked her and left her unconscious. Court documents indicate that she had injuries to her face, hands, and ribs. People biking in that area were able to help and called 911. We spoke with a longtime resident who's lived in Tigard for over 10 years and visits this area frequently, and he tells us he's never encountered anything like this.
I've had no negative experiences down here ever, and I'm here like 3 or 4 times a week. It's bad, and I guess on the positive side, you know, with more and more people, like there's a little family right over there, more and more people like that, the likelihood of these terrible things are less and less.
The victim is still recovering in the hospital tonight with serious injuries. Tigard Police tell us the young suspect was spotted on several security cameras after the attack, and members of the community helped identify him. According to court documents, Ford's parents, though, are the ones who drove him to the police station after recognizing their son on the news. Police say the attack appeared to be random.